So today, Bud and I and Birdie and I brought Sissy along kind of for her first big trip moving cows. We're out here in this pasture. It's the furthest east pasture on the place, and we've got to move these cows across this county road. There's hardly anybody that uses the county road, so it's not a big deal dealing with traffic crossing it, but I would say just about every time we've ever crossed it, this is a pretty easy chore. But the last time we crossed it, it turned into a big old wreck. There was a big old soggy heifer calf that wouldn't go through the gate, and then she ran off back out here trying to find her mom, which obviously wasn't out here. So I ended up having to rope her and tie her down, and then we had to bring a trailer over and load her in it and then take her across the road and dump her out. When those cows all cross the county road, there's two gates they have to go through. When they went through that second gate, the cows in the front just took off and just left their calves. So once we got everything through there was probably 30 or 40 calves that didn't know where their moms were, so they were trying to run back to the last place that they'd seen their mom or nursed, which was in the wrong pasture. So we had to battle that, turning those calves back around, and eventually a couple of them did make it onto the county road, but we got them off of there and then got them kicked back in the pasture they need to go to, got the lead shut down, and just tried to hold everything up in a bunch till it mothered up, and it took forever. This is a chore that could just take an hour or two, and it took 5 or 6 hours that day. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. My dad's out here somewhere on a ATV. I think he's off this way going to the back end on that side, and I'm on the north side going around it. Hopefully it goes better today. I'm sure it will. It's a nice cool day out. We've been getting some rain, so cows generally work better when it's kind of nice and cool out. It's just a slight breeze. They work better when there's a teeny little breeze. If it's real windy, it fries their brains and they don't move or do anything worth a shit. But that's what we're up to today. So if you want to come along, here we go. Well, so far it seems to be going pretty good. The cows are all moving out all right, headed in the right direction, but half of them are over there. Sorry, Bud thinks he's got flies all over him. I sprayed him off real good with fly spray, and I don't actually see any on him, but he acts like they're on his tummy real bad. Anyway, half of them are over here, so that's the half I'm headed towards the gate, and then back over here where my dad was, he's ahead of me with his bunch, but then I saw two pair come up out of a draw that he needed to get, that needed to be with his bunch, so I had to trot across here to kick those up, and they're headed over the hill now. Hopefully they trot down into the bunch that he's moving or he sees them, but I'm headed back over here to the ones that I need to push up. And Sissy, she went up and helped Birdie with one that was kind of being a pain, but I think Birdie will teach her good and she'll have it figured out. Off we go. So the last time that we moved the cows across this county road, I didn't have any dogs with, and I think bringing dogs with does help keep things paired up quite a bit better. Those cows will go look for their calf before they take off. But we eventually did on that day go back home and get the dogs to help us pair everything back up. So even if your dog isn't very good at herding cattle, it'll at least make those cows think twice, and they'll go find their calf. So just an idea. I believe that wild colored shorthorn had a solid black calf. Pretty nice one too. That's her calf right there. Well, this little bunch was all back here in this corner, but luckily the gate's just right over the hill over there. They're all moving pretty good. This gal's kind of being a straggler, but she's headed the right way. These ones are all thinking they need to let their calves nurse, but my dad is still out of sight off over that way. I kind of see some on the horizon here that he's pushing that are headed the right way, so I think everything's going pretty hunky-dory. I'm going to keep going pretty nice and easy here, and I hope everything stays paired up, because stuff usually comes unpaired when you go through gates, and I've got two of them to go through, but hopefully if they're not all balled up and they're kind of strung out and go through the gate all right, they won't come unpaired. The road I got across is a county road, but it doesn't get much traffic. There's been 2 oil tankers that have went by in the last, I don't know, hour or so. But other than that, down this way, down that road, probably the next, I don't know what it's got to be, 30 miles. There's probably, let me see, 1, 2, maybe only three turnoffs or 3 houses. You want to say that use this county road. There's some more that way, but they would go that way because the highway to go to town's that way. That way, there is another highway that goes on into Wright, Wyoming. So it just doesn't get used too much. So it's pretty decent to cross, especially on a weekend. So, but pretty good so far. Well, I didn't get it out in time, but Birdie was kind of fighting with one, and Sissy went over to try out and help. So that's always exciting to see them moving cows for their first time and getting the confidence up to do it. But it all went great. She did good. Good job, Sissy. Good job, Birdie. So here's the other half coming. It looks like they must have kind of drifted on down, clear down into this corner. My dad's been bringing them along this fence line, and there's the gate right there, and then they cross the road and go through that gate, and the bunch that I took's up that way. So I better get up here and make sure this lead turns through the gate, which I kind of think they will, but I just don't want them to get too far ahead of everything else. There she goes. They've done this enough times to know that they just need to go straight across, but we'll see. This kind of the problem with side-by-sides, in my opinion, is my cows came walking up through here and walked through this gate that I brought on a horse, and the ones that are being brought on a side-by-side are a little anxious acting, I'd say. Well, everything went through the gates fine. None of the calves are trying to run back. Stuff's not paired up real great, but I think they know the dogs are back here, so nothing wants to go back the other way. Off over this hill and down a ways is where water is, so most of these cows know that. I just kind of want to push them in that general direction and get them out of sight of this pasture they're just in case any of these calves do want to run back. They won't probably want to run back that far, hopefully. But there's also a cloud, looks like it's coming this way, so there is in the forecast there was some stuff about thunderstorms, so kind of like to get them pushed over here and see what this storm's looking like, and then maybe be done, but we'll see. Well, I did have one calf just run back, but we got out in front of him, me and the dogs did, and turned her back up this way, and then I put the dogs on her, and they herded her back up here pretty nice, and I haven't had one turn back since. I've got one here kind of in the middle, in the back of here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Which calf is it? That little calf right there is acting like he might run back. He's just got to get past these ones and he'll be at the back. So I'm going to ease down around there, bring the dogs along. The dogs kind of usually spook them back up into the bunch and make them want to stay with the bunch. So it's got a little ways further to go to water over this little hill here. Yeah, we got everything pushed to water. That's the water well up there. Everything's headed that way. There was kind of 2 calves that kind of thought about running back there, but just held them up for a while till their moms either come and get them or they decide to lay down. So me and Bud are head back to the trailer. Sissy's coming with me. Birdie stayed with my dad, so they both worked really good today. But yeah, hopefully get back to pick up a trailer, and then I'll come across the road and shut the gates, and I'll drive right by those cows on my way home, and hopefully I don't see any calves running back. But